Hi lovelies, welcome back to my channel. The 2025 journal lineup is finally here. Speaking of 2025, I must first summarize and look back how I used my journals in 2024. And based on that, combined with my own needs and some recent changes in my life and work, I'm preparing to make some changes and improvements. Then I put together my 2025 journal lineup. In 2024, I used a total of 5 journals, although only 2 were used daily. And one of them is a week's planner. This was used for planning, writing daily to-dos, appointments, and events. The other one is an A5 dotted notebook as my bullet journal. This was used for daily reflections and habit tracking. I started using 2 books since 2023. Before that, I only used 1 bullet journal for planning and tracking habits. And then I came across the book Peak, and also seeing other YouTubers and influencers share their methods, I wanted to try daily reflections as well, which is at the end of each day, I reflect on things I did well and also noting areas where I didn't do so well, why that happened, and how I can improve. So to separate these 2 main functions as they were quite different, I moved my planner part to another planner and I continued to use the A5 notebook for daily reflections in the form of a bullet journal. When I first started using 2 journals in 2023, besides the bullet journal, I chose an A5 timeline planner or time schedule system for the other one. However, it didn't work very well for me. I even pulled out that planner to check how much I left empty back then. The main issue was that I focused more on planning ahead than on recording afterwards. So if I pre-write everything into the time block, it locks each task into a specific time slot. This format wasn't very flexible and any changes would mess up the whole day's layout. Fixing it would affect the aesthetics and take lots of effort. Another issue was that the A5 size felt too large for me. I couldn't fill the pages. I feel the best I could do was just a page like this. I reckon this book would be okay for scheduling tasks, but filling it up fully and making it look pretty was really a challenge for me. So this year I switched to a week's planner, which is much smaller. I just need to write the main tasks for each day and won't worry about exact times. After a year of using it, I found that I really like it. Both the size and format are perfect for me. Let's have a quick flip through here. Many people have been asking me about my specific ways of using the weeks, but due to the length of the video, I'll share a detailed explanation in a separate video very soon, so stay tuned. So this is my first journal for my 2024. The second journal I used is an A5 dotted bullet journal. In this journal, I mainly focus on daily reflections as mentioned earlier. I also used the first few pages for goal setting, habit tracking, and I also made a book list. Every month, I create a theme. Since I don't use monthly calendars much, I repurpose a calendar in each monthly cover for a doodle a day. And in October, I switched to a keyword a day, which was also fun. I also made a mood board collage for October at the end, which was very enjoyable as well. So the best thing about bullet journaling is that it's fully customizable. Both of these notebooks are from Paperideas. You can find them from my stationery store. I've put the links in the description box below. These notebooks are great quality with very affordable price. Both of the paper is 100 GSM, and as you can see, my markers and pens barely bleed through or ghost. I've been bullet journaling for 4 to 5 years, I think, and I've finished quite a few of them. These 2 notebooks are the system that I'm already very comfortable with, so I'll definitely continue using the same weeks and bullet journal combination in 2025. The third notebook for this year was a 5-year journal from Lishram, but I haven't used it very well. I started using it in 2021, but there were long periods when I didn't write in it, so by 2024 I was only up to the 3rd line. When I bought it, I really liked the color, but now I don't like it as much. Plus, this color was discontinued shortly after I bought it, so my motivation for using it got lower and lower. And a tip here for you guys, when choosing a 5-year journal, always pick a timeless color. The 4th notebook I used this year is an A5 loose leaf ring binder, which I use as a reading journal to take notes and sometimes write about my feelings. This is actually my first time using a loose leaf, and I found it perfect for book notes because sometimes I'm reading several books at once. If one book's notes aren't finished, I don't know where to start the next one with a bound notebook. A loose leaf could easily solve the problem. Last one is an A6 journal for scrapbooking. I used it a lot last year, but I didn't do as much this year. But it's satisfying to see it gets bulky. I did clutch a few more pages as my phone case cover though. I'm not sure how much I'll use it in 2025, but I'll probably still do some occasionally when I have time and just to use up some materials. So for 2025, I'll carry on using this ring binder reading journal and my scrapbook. So after seeing what worked well for me and what didn't, 2025 planner lineup now consists of these notebooks. There are still 2 main ones: week's planner for scheduling, a bullet journal for daily reflections and habit tracking. If I'm going out, I usually just take the weeks with me. It has a few blank pages at the back for jotting down quick notes. For the weeks, I'm sticking with Paperideas for sure. The one I used in 2024 was a soft cover, undated version. Originally, I wanted to use another undated one for 2025 because bullet journaling is all about DIY, so I enjoy writing dates myself in my planner as well. However, I discovered that Paperideas released this linen cover for 2025 and it's only available in a dated version. I like the cover so much that I decided to get it anyway, and I realized I could still use colored pens to trace over the printed dates for a pop of color if I ever need to, right? Another bonus is that the dated version's monthly calendar is pure white, whereas the undated version's calendar alternates between red and white. Although I don't use monthly calendars often, I still prefer the plain design, and I might use them for foot tracking in 2025. The dated version also includes the week numbers and how many days are left in the year, which are nice features as well. So I'm very excited about it now and really couldn't wait. Oh, even better, Paperideas also released a matching PVC cover for this planner. We've already ordered, and by the time this video is live, we'll have them in my shop already. I'll also make a video setting up my 2025 weeks planner along with a flip through of my 2024 weeks. My second journal for my 2025 is the A5 bullet journal from Paperideas as well. I used this lilac purple in 2024. For 2025, I chose this light mauve that I find very pretty. This journal is brand new. I haven't even unwrapped it. I'll do a 2025 bullet journal setup video soon, so I'm waiting to unwrap it then. So please subscribe so you don't miss out on that. I'll just show you guys how the inside looks using my 2024 bullet journal. They are identical inside anyways. So first page is your title page, then you have index pages. I find myself not using it much, so I just skipped it this year. Then it's all dotted pages. There are 188 pages, and at the end there's a pocket to keep some stickers or receipts or tickets that you want to keep for later. Paperideas offers over 20 colors for their A5 dotted notebooks, so if you're interested, feel free to check them out. The links are in the description box below. I really love bullet journaling. First, you can customize every module to fit your needs. Second, creating a new theme each month keeps things fresh. Writing and doodling in my notebook every day excites me and makes it easy to maintain the journaling habit as well. Some people think decorating monthly spreads is a waste of time, but there are simple ways to do it too. Just one blank pen can be enough as well. Of course, it depends on personal preference and habits. The third journal, which I've debated for a long time whether to include, is also the biggest change in 2025 compared to 2024. It's a page-a-day journal, and it's called 365 Days, also from Paperideas, because I'm absolutely obsessed with their journals. When I discovered that they launched this daily journal, I immediately bought it and started including them in my store. Actually, this book is well designed. It has a yearly plan page in the very beginning, and then monthly planning pages at the front, and daily pages afterwards. These are undated. The daily page includes a small timeline on the side as well. The page is also divided into different sections, which I thought I could combine my week's planner and bullet journal into this one. But I really couldn't let go of the freedom of being able to DIY my bullet journal. For example, I can customize the first few pages to set up my goals, to track my habits, and also draw different themes, etc. Plus the thickness and the weight of this journal, as it's got 100 GSM paper as well. It was hard for me to make the decision to completely switch to this book. Earlier, I mentioned trying to plan my daily tasks using a timeline format, but ultimately switching to the weeks for flexibility. But in reality, after writing my key tasks in the week's planner, I would usually grab a random piece of paper to list out a rough schedule, 9 to 10 do this, 10 to 11 do that. As I complete each task, I'd cross it off. If something wasn't done, I'd write it down on a new piece of paper the next day, and I'd toss off the old paper once the day's gone. So for 2025, I plan to use this page-a-day journal for that purpose. Using the journal will help me stay organized instead of scattering tasks on random pieces of papers, because it was really random. Sometimes I use Notepad, but there are also lots of times where I just use the back of a printed A4 paper. So sometimes if I jot down random ideas or inspirations, they can easily get lost. Or there might be times like if a task is not urgent and gets postponed to the next day and then being pushed off to another day, I sometimes ended up rewriting it on multiple pieces of papers over several days. So I'm thinking with this journal, everything will be recorded in one place and it will be so much easier to organize. So this book is pretty much a whatever I want to write journal. Although it sounds like a journal I'd carry around for on-the-go use, I rarely write in my planner or journals outside the house. And for random inspirations while out, I could still jot things down in the blank pages at the back of my weeks, or just use my phone. So this journal will mainly stay open on my desk, I guess. It'll function more like a bound notepad where I can write messily without worrying about the aesthetic set of things. For the 5-year journal, I still want to give it another go. I plan to switch to this canvas covered this time. The color is more timeless and shouldn't feel outdated over time. Also, its size is closer to A6, which I think would be easier to write in. The one I used before was Leshram Some Lines a Day, while this one is called One Line a Day. So I guess the smaller format should be easier to maintain. One reason I couldn't stick to the 5-year journal before was that I wasn't sure what to write in it. It lacked direction. For this new one, I've decided to use it as a gratitude journal. I've never kept a gratitude journal before, but after seeing so many people do it and hearing about its benefits, I felt inspired to give it a go. Writing a gratitude journal is said to help you develop a more positive mindset, reduce stress and anxiety, and focus more on the present. I really want to experience these benefits, and over time, reviewing these entries should feel very similar to reading a regular journal, but the focus will be entirely on the positive aspects. Plus, this journal is very beautiful, has a nice texture, and the slightly yellowish paper feels so inviting to write on. Following that will be my loose-leaf reading journal and an A6 scrapbook, which I had just talked about, so I won't repeat here. So finally, to summarize, my 2025 journal lineup includes a week's planner for my to-dos and scheduling, an A5 bullet journal for habit tracking and daily reflections, a page-a-day journal for time arrangement, quick notes taking, and capturing inspirations or brainstorming, a 5-year journal for gratitude journaling, an A5 loose-leaf notebook for reading notes, and an A6 notebook for scrapbooking. Some of you might think this is a lot of notebooks, but in practice, it's not overwhelming. The core system really only involves 2 journals, the week's planner and the bullet journal. Both will be used consistently throughout the year. The other notebooks, like the 5-year journal, won't necessarily be written in every day. Sometimes I might catch up and write several days worth of entries at once. So I'd say my system is still relatively simple and perfectly balanced for me without feeling like a burden. And this is actually the first year I've made a video about my journal lineup, which also helped myself to refine my system as well. And this is pretty much today's video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. I'm really looking forward to chatting with you all about journaling. Alright, that's all for today's video. I hope everybody going through this busy season smoothly and have a wonderful 2025. Thank you so much for watching. Happy journaling, everyone. Bye!